Welcome back in, everybody. We are on day 11 of our 25 Drams of Christmas. Now, I mentioned yesterday we've got a budget bourbon, won a lot of blind flights. This is the whiskey right here. Knob Creek 100 proof. Now, this is the Knob Creek small batch. This is one of their base products in the Knob Creek line. And just an excellent value whiskey. This is actually a product of Jim Beam. And mash bill on this is 75% corn, 13% rye, and 12% malted barley. Knob Creek has a couple higher end expressions as well. So just along the Knob Creek line, there's a whole bunch of flavorings first, like a smoked maple. They have a Knob Creek rye. They have the Knob Creek Single Barrel Reserve, which is actually over here. I've got a couple store picks. They do store picks on that all the time. Some of those can get up to 14, 15 years old, come in at 120 proof. Incredible value for those. Those are great. I love that stuff. But I'll tell you what, the base product, not too bad either. Let's look at the color first on this. Now, as I mentioned, this is 100 proof. This used to have a 9-year age statement. They took the 9-year age statement away. A little bit of a mini uprising with Jim Beam. And the 9-year age statement is now back on the bottle. So, as far as I know, I'm pretty sure. So, that's good. Age statements aren't everything. You know, it gives distillers and blenders more options to batch things together if they don't put an age statement on it. But people like to see the age statement, especially other countries outside the US. They love age statements, so one of the reasons. But looking at color here, this has got a little more color to it. And it is also sticking to the glass a little more as well. So this is more of a medium caramel color. Definitely some chocolate notes in this, just even on the color. And pretty good legs. Pretty good legs. That 100 proof I think is showing through. Let's go into the nose. Happy day 11, everyone. Classic Jim Beam profile. Now this isn't overly rye, as I mentioned, only 13% rye. For me, it's the Jim Beam nuttiness. Most of us out there have probably had the Jim Beam white label. That's a very heavy Jim Beam nuttiness. That's what I describe that nuttiness as. Knob Creek doesn't have the same type of nuttiness. They're definitely related, but this is kind of more of like a toasted peanut, if you will. Toasted peanut, maybe drizzled in some caramel, caramel sugar. This has got a very creamy nose on it. I always kind of get this on the Knob Creek 100. It just smells like a creamy nose. Like it smells like it's going to be very, I don't know, very rich. It just smells very rich on the nose. But I think the nut note is the most prevalent. And then kind of that creamy caramel, creamy vanilla is kind of what shows through next for me. And a little bit of chocolate too. A little bit of chocolate coming through on this bottle, I would say. Let's give it a sip. Cheers, everybody. Ooh. Whew. There's that kick, baby. There's that palate punch. Give me that palate punch. Back of the palate. Excellent spice. Now, I'm describing a little bit of a barrel spice on this. Doesn't taste super rye, which with the mash bill it really shouldn't. But man, that palate punch with the oak and the kind of the wood tannins, the barrel tannins, really came through on that sip. I don't remember it being that strong on just previous times I've had this bottle. So, I mean, that richness we described in the nose, it really does come through on the palate. Great mouth coating. Great mouth coating for 100 proof. Budget option. You're getting a great finish. Little Kentucky hug. 100 proof, baby. Little Kentucky hug. It's nice. Very nice. Still that rich vanilla custard, almost. A vanilla caramel custard. Very desserty, very desserty. Let's go one more sip here. It's really like it is really like a toasted nut drizzled in some caramel on top of vanilla. Like vanilla pudding. That's what it is. For the price being around $30, locally this is about $30. You really can't beat the value. I feel like I've been saying this a lot throughout this whole series so far in our first 10 episodes. The stuff I'm choosing to review, as you can tell, is stuff I have in my bar. It's things I like, it's things I actually drink, so I enjoy them. And Knob Creek 100 is no exception. I mean, you can drink this neat, which I do all the time, but because of the proof, 9-year-old as well, I mean, it holds up great in a cocktail. You know, and a lot of my buddies drink, you know, with a rock in their glass, or on ice, or even add a little water. And this is another whiskey that's great for that. You know, you can still taste your alcohol coming through, but it doesn't kick in the face as much as some of us like. You know, some of us like that kick in the face. I am one of them. So I think for the price, for the value, for what you're getting, I think this is an excellent buy. Probably the oldest budget bourbon I can think of on the market. Buffalo Trace is about 8 years, so Knob Creek 100 with the 9, man, that's got to be the best, the oldest value that I can think of. If anyone out there can think of an older whiskey that comes in around $30, that's actually decent. Because I mean, there's a George Dickel 13-year bottled in bond. It's about $35, but I would take Knob Creek 100 over that all day. I really think I would. So. If anyone can think of a bottle better than Knob Creek 100 that's older than 9 years, I'd like to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below for that. If you're liking the series, please do let me know. I'd appreciate some feedback. I hope you're enjoying it. This has been a lot of fun just filming these, trying all these. I'm loving it. So please let me know if you're liking it. The last 5 days of the month, I have decided that I'm going to have my patrons choose the last bottles. So after the 25th, which is what I'm scheduled to, I'm going to do the last 5-6 days. They're going to choose the bottles out of my bar. So I told them pretty much anything is fair game. If they see a bottle back here they want me to try, that's going to be the last 6 reviews of the month. So, and I got more bottles coming that are going to be good ones, hopefully. From what I've heard, we'll see. So if anyone has suggestions for other things they'd like to see as well, it might already be coming in the calendar for the rest of the month, or it might be something that the patrons decide to add on later. So I appreciate y'all hanging out today, though, watching this. I will see you tomorrow for day 12. And day 12, we've got a pretty good sipper. Again, we're not going with anything I don't like too much. So appreciate y'all being here. Stay insane, everyone.